going to do a get ready with me. I'm going to use this Hourglass primer first to begin with. It's not the mineral veil, it's actually the other Hourglass primer. I can't remember off the top of my head what it's called, but it's a lot more moisturizing, and I just had my face dermaplaned, so I have some dry patches, and I figured this would be much better for my skin considering its current state. Alright, so sticking with Hourglass, I'm going to go in with the foundation stick. I have found with this particular foundation that less is more. And it keeps it from looking really cakey if you don't use too much. Plus, I'm just kind of going for a everyday kind of look. I didn't want to really go with anything too full coverage today. I do love this new brush. This is a Morphe brush, and I'm a beauty blender girl, but this brush really does an amazing job as far as the finish is concerned, so I have been using that brush a lot lately. Just gonna blend in the forehead. It is a little buildable too. It's nice to be able to just kind of pick where you need more coverage too. But I'll tell you what, these dark circles really stick out once I have my foundation on. I hate my dark circles. But I have found a way to offset them, so they really are dark. As you can see, I hate them. I am going to go in with the Benefit Erase Paste. This is more of a corrector, so do put it only where you need to have correction done. I tend to put it right there at the edge where I have a ridge with my dark circles, because I want to hide that ridge as much as I can. So I do put the corrector specifically where corrector is needed. I don't put it all underneath my eye, and then I just pat it out, pat it out, pat it out. Once that is in, I go in with the Benefit Buoying, and I tell you what, this concealer is fantastic. It's very thick though, so you do have to take a little bit of it out, put it on the back of your hand, and warm it up, warm it up, warm it up. It does become very creamy, very slippy as soon as you do that, and then it just takes a little tiny bit and you just pat it out, and it does an amazing job. I tell you what, I love this stuff. This is like my new kind of go-to, because it does brighten and hide my dark circles very well. I'm going to set them with Makeup Forever HD setting powder with just a tiny bit. I don't bake under the eye because I have a lot of fine lines and wrinkles, and when you have fine lines and wrinkles, the last thing you want to do is pack on a bunch of powder, because it does nothing but accentuate those wrinkles. It makes them look even worse, and it gets very cakey throughout the course of your day. So if you just do a little teeny tiny bit, enough to just set it, then it won't wrinkle up on you and it won't look so cakey. I did turn the light around because I was getting frustrated with not being able to see. It's awfully bright though, so I have a feeling I'll be turning that light back around here in just a few minutes. So I'm going in with the MAC Painterly Pot, and I just like to use this to prime my eyelids. For some reason, my eyeshadow just tends to stay all day long when I prime it with that MAC paint pot, and again, that's in the color Painterly, and I just take a little teeny tiny bit and pat it around. Now this stuff dries down fairly quickly, so you gotta work pretty fast with it. This NARS concealer, I didn't use this as a concealer today because I wasn't really looking for an all-out kind of glam look. But I am going to use it down the middle of my face just to brighten. For those of you that haven't tried that NARS matte concealer, yeah, I turned that light back around. This NARS matte concealer is fantastic in the T-zone because it is a matte formula. It does control oil. So putting it through my T-zone as a brightener, kind of like a highlight slash brightener, extra coverage kind of thing, does control oil throughout the day, and it keeps my T-zone very, very matte. And it is fantastic as a concealer as well. So anybody that hasn't tried that NARS matte formula, I would definitely recommend it. Now this is just the Benefit Hoola contour stick. I love it. It's my go-to. Keep in mind, I've only set with powder my under eye area. And before I set my face with powder, you want to make sure you use all the cream products that you're going to use. So I've put the brightening down the center of my face. Now I'm going to go in with the contour cream before I set my face. Oh, and this brush, you guys, this is a Morphe B31 brush. This is the best blending brush for contour that I've ever seen. It works like a dream. I really struggled with contour on myself and on clients until I found this brush. This brush made all the difference in the world. It actually blends out your contour like nobody's business. Watch what it does on my cheek. It's just amazing. Alright, now I'm going in to set my face, and I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Setting Powder. This is new, and it's amazing. I absolutely love it. You don't need very much. You just need to use a little bit to set your makeup down, and it doesn't look cakey. I do press my powder into my skin. Again, it keeps it from looking cakey, especially if you go over that with a damp beauty blender. It helps just set it really good into the skin, and it looks really nice, and it keeps it, again, from being very cakey and kind of separating on you. This is the Benefit eyebrow pencil. I love this. Now, I don't carve out my brows or make them look stenciled. I don't really like that look. I just like a very natural filled in look. So where my eyebrows are sparse, I just fill them in, and that's it. I'm pretty low maintenance when it comes to my brows. I don't have time to do all that craziness. I will if I'm doing like a full glam, but again, for just an everyday look, I'm just going to fill them in. Love that pencil. Alright, so I'm going with the Sephora, the Pro palette in the warm colors. I actually love, love, love this palette. I'm just going to do kind of a light color over my lid just to set that painterly in. And then I'm going to go in with a nice transition color. This is an Ashley Tisdale blending brush that you can get from BH Cosmetics. The whole set's like $12, but it's worth it just to get that one blending brush. I love that blending brush. I've used it forever. So I'm just going to put this transition color in. Right in my crease. I'm going to smoke it out with a little bit of an, it's kind of like an orangey color that's in there. It's like a shade lighter than the one I just used. And I just used that just to kind of smoke out that transition color a little bit. Then I'm going to go in with a darker color, and this is the Wayne Goss blending brush, and I'll tell you what, ugh, this brush. I don't even want to tell you how much I paid for it because it's embarrassing, but I'll tell you, it is worth every penny. It blends like a freaking dream. I'm just going to pop a little bit of a highlight color on the top of my eye right there next to the brow bone, and I was actually shocked at how bright this color was. It really is bright. This palette continues to surprise me. I absolutely adore this palette, and the colors in it. As you can see, the blendability of it's amazing. Very, very easy to work with. That little e.l.f. brush cost me like $1, and I'm telling you what, those little e.l.f. brushes are the ish. So I'm just taking that dark color, and I'm bringing it up the side of my lid there, just a little bit. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a shimmer or a matte, like on my lid. And I end up going with a matte color here, and I really like the way that it looked. And I'm just packing that matte color on my lid. But I don't want it to look like a cut crease, so I'll go in and kind of blend it out a little bit. But I really, really love that matte color on my lid. It ended up being a pretty look. Now I'm taking that light brown there, and I'm actually going underneath my eye with that light brown, just to lay down a little bit of color. And then I'll go in with a darker brown underneath the eye, because I'm not going to line my eye today, because again, we're just doing kind of an everyday look. I'm not doing like full glam. And then I'll actually go in with that dark brown. Yeah, there is a lot of fallout with that palette too, guys, but whatever, it's worth it. The blendability is fantastic. So then I'll go in with that dark brown. There we go. And now it actually has kind of that gradient look underneath the lashes, which I really like. There is a lot of fallout, but I'm telling you, those pigments, a lot of them I think are just pressed pigments, which is why they're so, there's a lot of fluff there, but you know, the fallout's worth it because the blendability of those colors is amazing. Alright, so this is just a really pretty light pink Tarte 12-Hour Amazonian Clay Blush. Just nice for a little flush of color. Nothing too crazy. Laura Mercier, this is a nice highlighting powder. So a lot of people use this kind of all over, but I like to just put it Cupid's bow, the very tip of my nose, because it's a very understated highlight. It's not overly shimmery, which I don't like, because anything super glittery gets into my fine lines and wrinkles. So the less shimmery, the better for me. So for a highlight, I really like this Laura Mercier powder. Nose is itching. Alright, don't judge. I'm using the contraption on my lips, but it works so well. Oh my gosh, it makes your lips so puffy. You can get these on Amazon for like $3 or $4, and I'm telling you what, it works, boy. Look how puffy it makes your lips. Alright, so I am cleaning all of the product off of my lashes. All the powder, all the foundation that got on my lashes. I find that it makes my mascara go on fantastically well. I'm going to curl my lashes here, and then I'm going to go in with a new mascara. It's actually called the Voluminous, I can't remember the name of it. It's like the Voluminous, yeah, Lash Paradise, that's what it is. It's Lash Paradise. It's like a dupe for the Better Than Sex. It's waterproof, so it is almost like putting hairspray on your eyelashes. Any kind of waterproof mascara is going to keep that curl in your lashes really, really well. So I always like to do a waterproof mascara for my first layer, and this is by L'Oreal, and I'm telling you what, the brush is even in like an hourglass shape, kind of like the Better Than Sex, but I really like this as a waterproof formula, and it keeps my curl all day long. After that first layer's dry, I'm going to go in with the new Lancôme mascara that's called the Monsieur Big, and this is my ride or die mascara right now. I love this mascara, and since I'm not going to do falsies, I'm just going to get a really nice look on my lash, again, just for like an everyday look. And another kind of tip is you'll see that I'm like lifting my lid, and then I'm going in with my mascara. If you do that, it keeps you from getting gunk all over your lids, and it'll let you really kick on that mascara without having to worry about making a mess on your lids. Now, this is the new NARS lip pigment. This stuff goes on matte, and it stays on all day, and you don't really need a liner, and I absolutely love it. So if you haven't tried that out, I definitely recommend it. And looks like that's the completed look, guys. Hey guys, so this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed that get ready with me. If you have any questions about any of the products I used, or any of the brushes that I used, or any of that good stuff, just hit me down below. Thanks a lot. Have a good night. I'll talk to you guys later.